Hi everybody, welcome to another Change Your Thoughts Today show. My name is Stephen Aitchison, creator of CYTLive, a program to help you change your beliefs to change your life. And hopefully a lot of people have tried that already and I've got a lot of great feedback. So hopefully you've kind of tried out the free affirmations. If you've not, I'll send a link down below to give you that as well. So today I want to talk about 7 habits of highly authentic people. And this is from an article from Harvey Deutschendorf, who's written a brilliant kind of guest article on my blog. And it's something that I'm really kind of passionate about. And it's about being authentic. And I want to first start by saying, before I go and speak about the article now, I want to start by saying that, in a sense, when you think about the word leader, I think most people would think about leaders of businesses, big businesses, like sort of Steve Jobs or Richard Branson or something like that. But we have to kind of really narrow it down. And I'm going to suggest that we are, every single one of us, are leaders in one respect or another. Whether you're a mother, especially a mother. Our children look up to us as mothers and they expect us to be kind of leaders without actually consciously voicing that. They look to us as a leader. Same with the fathers as well. If you're a father, if you're a brother, a sister, if you're a business owner, if you're a teacher, it doesn't matter what you are, what area in your life, you will be seen as some form of a leader. So this applies to every single person watching this live show. You might not think it applies to you when you've seen the word leaders, but it really and truly does. And it's about authenticity. Excuse me, and being authentic just really means, if we really think about it, being authentic, it just means being your true self. What you see with me on screen just now is what you would see if you met me in person. It's what any stranger would see if they met me in person as well. It's what I'm like kind of when I'm doing a show, for example, if I'm doing a seminar, a live seminar, it's what I'm like doing a webinar. I'm just exactly the same with everybody. And there's lots more to kind of being authentic, but that's part of it. It's just being your true self. You know and you're confident enough to be your true self, and you display that every single day. And I think that's a really highly beautiful trait to have. I'm not saying I'm beautiful, I'm not saying that, you know what I mean? But I think it's just a beautiful trait to see in others. People that are genuinely authentic. And I first realised this, and I'm going to tell a story, and it doesn't make me look good at all, but it doesn't matter, it's going to illustrate the kind of story. So when I was younger, and I was going out with kind of a girl when I was younger, and I kind of wanted to finish with her, but I didn't know how to. So what I tried to do, or what I did, is I didn't devise some ways. What I did was I acted like a bit of a dick so that she would finish with me and I didn't have the guilt of having to finish with her, because I was that fantastic that if I finished with her it would just break her heart. That was just these kind of thoughts, silly thoughts in my head. I didn't think I was fantastic at the time, but I'm just saying, it was just, looking back on it, it seemed as if what an arrogant dick that I was, that I should even think like that. But I tried everything to get her to finish with me. But everything I kind of tried, it didn't really work. Until eventually I said, listen, I do think you're brilliant, but I just don't want to see you. I don't think I want to go out with you anymore. I didn't say I don't think, I just said I don't want to go out with you anymore. I want to kind of be young, I want to go out with my friends, I want to live the single life, and I want to see other girls as well, and therefore I'm going to have to finish with you. And we had a long and honest, kind of an open conversation, and she thanked me at the end of it for being honest and open. And it was that day, literally that day, that I realised, do you know what, it's best to tell the truth in everything that you do. Every single thing. All this kind of mucking about and getting stressed about trying to get her to finish with me. I know I sound like a dick, and I was at that time. But doing all that, it just made me realise, do you know what? It's much easier to be yourself and tell the truth. And ever since then, I've made it part of my life to be honest and open. Obviously diplomatic as well. You don't want to be brutally honest with people and say, you're a bit of a dick, I don't want to talk to you, or something like that. You don't want to be brutally honest. It's just about being honest with yourself and being honest with others as well. And if somebody asks you for your opinion on something, I always kind of predicate it with, do you want the honest truth, or do you want me to tell you what you want to hear? And I've kind of taught my sons. My son actually said that the other day, that he'd said that to somebody. And I just realised how much they look up to us as leaders, as a father, as a kind of mother. Sean's exactly the same as well, my wife. And that kind of illustrates a story about, kind of, or part of the story about being authentic as well. And about being a leader as well. Just another quick story before I go on as well. Years ago, about 8 or 9 years ago, my son was kind of very young. And I was out with my other son while he was kind of playing in the street, and Sean was kind of watching him playing with his friends in the street. So we were out the pictures, the movies, to see a kind of film, my other son Bradley and I. So we were driving back from the movies, and I seen my other son kind of in the middle of the road standing crying, and a guy was shouting at him. So I quickly parked the car and jumped out of the car, and I was ready to fucking rip his head off because he was making my son cry. I didn't know what he was shouting at. And as soon as I jumped, I said, "Oh!" And I jumped, and I didn't jump on the guy, I just went to grab him, and he just kind of stood back and went, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." And he told me what had happened. It turns out what my son had done, he was playing kind of with the traffic. Basically, he was jumping in the middle of the road when a car would come, and then dive back because he thought it was funny. Him and his friends thought it was funny. And this guy got a real fright because he thought he was going to run over my son Lewis. And that's why he was saying, he's kind of, I don't know if he was shouting at him, but I heard it in my mind that he was shouting at him. So my instinct was to protect, and I was raging. So my son kind of told me this story through his tears and stuff like that. And then Sharon came out because she had seen the whole thing. She'd seen I was just about to jump on this guy, and she jumped out. But what happened, Lewis was still there at the time. And so I apologised to the guy. I said, "Listen, I'm really sorry. I just seen you shouting at my son. He was crying. I thought you'd done something or something was wrong." And my son was kind of watching this. And so he realised, as a leader, me being a leader, he seen me actually apologising to somebody, standing back and just saying, "I'm sorry, this was my fault. I thought you'd done something else." And that made a big difference kind of in his life. He's told me that before as well. So us being leaders as parents is extremely important to kind of take this in. And being authentic is all about that as well. It's all about being a leader and showing your true authentic self as well. So I want to start with the article from Harvey Deutschendorf, and as I said, I put a link down below for you. The article starts with a quote from Ursula Burns, and it's, "I realised I was more convincing to myself and to the people who were listening when I actually said what I thought, versus what I thought people wanted to hear me say," which is really, really powerful. So that was a quote from Ursula Burns. So, 7 habits of highly authentic people. Number 1, they see their role as a privilege and a responsibility, not a right. Now, as I say, I see myself as a leader kind of in business now, and I truly do see myself as being authentic. And I've been told that's why people kind of like my shows, and they like the webinars, and they like the kind of the business programs I've got as well, because of that authenticity. But I really do see my role as a privilege. I don't take it for granted. I don't get big-headed about it, and I don't see it as it's my right to be a leader and you should do what I say, because I'm constantly learning as well about business, about online business, about kind of doing even Facebook Lives, doing anything at all. I'm constantly learning. So I will never, ever kind of see it as my right to be a leader and you should follow what I say, because it's never like that. It's a learning. I learn from the members of my programs. I learn as much from them as they learn from me as well. And it is a privilege to be a leader in one of my business programs, yourdigitalformula.com. I truly see it as a privilege. And I love that role, and I take it really, really seriously as well. So I definitely don't see it as a right. So I think that is the first habit, and what Harvey Deutschendorf has said there is very, very true. Number 2, they develop their courage and their self-confidence. So that's the second habit of highly effective or highly authentic leaders. They develop their courage and self-confidence. The only way to do that is to get outside your comfort zone. We've spoke about comfort zone loads of times before, and we spoke about it But the only way to grow as a human being, as a leader, as a person, is to get outside your comfort zone and do the things you think you're afraid of. Because it turns out the things we think we're afraid of, we're not actually really afraid of. We've just built it up so much in our minds that we become afraid. Which is kind of weird. But when you get outside your comfort zone, develop that self-confidence, develop that self-belief. It's a beautiful thing to see as well in other kind of human beings when you see them. Especially, I know I'm talking about kids here a lot, my kind of boys. When you see them growing their self-confidence and the belief within themselves, because you've given them the principles to live a great life by, it's a beautiful thing to watch, and it's great to see other people as well. Even people coming on this programme. We've got Nina Blankenburg who comes on this programme. I don't know if she's in today. Nina Blankenburg, she has grown so much over the last couple of months. We've got Dawn Adams Bowen, who's doing the same as well. We've got Darlene Dawn, who comes on the programme and has grown so much as well. And that's just some of the live viewers that have come on. Kim Hamilton as well. I think I've seen Kim Hamilton's name there as well. So it's just a beautiful thing. And even though I don't see them one-on-one, I don't see them in person, I can still, through their words, I can still see they're growing as human beings. And that's a beautiful thing to see. And even in the programme, just now we've got yourdigitalformula.com, the people that are growing in there, that is just beyond a privilege to see that. Who've we got in just now? Gina Sendeff. And I know Gina's brilliant if you've ever been to her kind of page, Angel Works by Gina. She's a brilliant person as well, but to see her growing in confidence, and I think Gina was saying she'd almost kind of given up on the kind of whole Facebook thing and growing her kind of tribe and stuff like that before she joined Your Digital Formula. And to see how much she's growing or grown in the last couple of months is brilliant to see as well. And Maria Flynn, who we all know as well from One Wise Life, beyond belief what she's done over the last year. She's been in the programme now for a year, but she now works with me as an operations manager. And that is brilliant to see her kind of growing in confidence and stature, just in every way possible. And it's all through authenticity. They're all doing it through authenticity, and it's beautiful to see. Number 3, they show their true self to everyone. They show their true self to everyone. So as I was saying at the beginning of the show, if you met me in person, I would be exactly the same as I am on this live. If you kind of met me at a seminar, I would be exactly the same as well. I don't change for my family. I don't change for friends. I don't change for. I'm just this way kind of all the time. And authentic people are like that with everybody. They don't kind of change faces. They don't have a political face. They don't have a mother face. They don't have any kind of masks on. They're just the person they are with everybody. Obviously, when you first meet somebody, you're a little bit guarded, and you have to be. That's a protection thing. You have to be kind of protect yourself. So you are a wee bit guarded, but essentially you're still the same person. You're still wearing the same mask as you do with everybody else, and that's one of the third traits of highly authentic people as well. Number 4, the highly authentic people acknowledge their imperfections and mistakes. Now, wouldn't that be amazing if you got politicians who came on and admitted their mistakes, or admitted and said, okay, I'm going to do something about it, or admitted their imperfections? If they just stood up and say, listen, I know I buggered this up the last time, here's what I'm doing to fix it, and I'm going to make it my life's mission, or my mission, to fix this thing and get our economy back on track. I know it's not as easy as that. Politics is a big kind of fangled thing. It's a bit of a nightmare sometimes. I can understand that. But if we got honest kind of politicians, how much of a difference would that make in the world? And you know, and this is why I believe, with the Brexit vote, with kind of Donald Trump getting voted in, and with what's happening in France just now as well, these people are in power, or we've came out of kind of Europe as well, because people are sick and tired of politicians, lies, deceit, corruption, and everything else. They're sick and tired of it, and that's how Brexit happened. That was a vote for change. Same with Donald Trump. That was a vote for change as well. It might not be the right one. I'm not saying it's the right one. I'm not saying I'm for or against it, but I'm just saying that was a vote for change, because people are so pissed off with the politicians' lies and corruptions and everything else. And I think what's going to happen over the next 20, 30 years in politics is what happened with marketing over the last 10 years. So I think we're going to see an influx of honest politicians. I think we're going to see an influx of honest politicians. Do you know with marketing, and I don't know if you followed kind of marketing, when you're seeing all these marketers online saying, okay, you can make $100,000 overnight, just buy this program for $9,000 or something, you'll make $100,000 overnight. And you'd think people wouldn't fall for that, but they kind of did, and it was all that sleazy kind of marketing tactics that were going on back then, 10 years ago. Whereas now, marketing has changed, flipped on its head to highly authentic people. People are starting to pick up that they know the ones who are genuine, they know the ones who are authentic, and they only buy their programs. They no longer fall for the sleazy marketing kind of tactics from the last kind of decade or something like that. That's kind of all gone. There's still an element of it out there, but I think most people are starting to recognise who's genuine, who's authentic, and that's the people they buy from when they're buying a program online. And I hope that's what's going to happen with politics as well. We're going to get one honest to goodness politician. I know there's lots out there just now, but we're going to get one that really stands up and really stands out, and we're going to start following them. And then that's when the face of politics is going to change. Because it only takes one kind of honest to goodness person to stand up and start changing the world. And I think that's what's going to happen with politics as well. And part of that is acknowledging their imperfections and their mistakes. So number 4, they develop their emotional intelligence. So highly authentic leaders develop their emotional intelligence. So your emotional intelligence is not just about being intelligent. It's nothing to do with kind of being academically intelligent. Is about your emotional intelligence, how you interact with other people, how you interact with other people socially, how you take on board what other people are saying. The art of listening is all to do with your emotional intelligence. When you develop your emotional intelligence, you really get in touch with yourself, and you really get in touch with other people as well, and what they feel, what they think about, and what they kind of talk about as well, and how to get information from them as well. And you really develop a much deeper connection with people when you develop your emotional intelligence as well. So I think that's a beautiful thing as well, that we're all, we recognise emotional intelligence. I think it was Daniel, I can't remember the guy who wrote the book on emotional, Daniel, somebody will put it up, I'm sure. So recognising emotional intelligence is really important, is a big thing, and then developing that emotional intelligence as well. And we can develop it so easily, that's the thing as well, just through practicing the art of listening, just by trying to get in touch with what other people are saying, or how other people are feeling, not through what they're saying, but through the other kind of actions as well, the body language as well, and that energy, picking up on that energy as well. It's all to do with the energy kind of fields as well, and picking up on that as well. And if you develop that, you can become a kind of master leader almost. Not for manipulation, just for the good of other people. Number 6, they treat others with empathy and respect. They treat others with empathy and respect. That's the 6th kind of habit of highly authentic people or leaders. And again, for me, that kind of, it goes without saying, that's how you should treat people, with empathy and respect. And it's just something I've developed naturally from growing up, all through my childhood, through my adulthood, teenage years and everything. I've just developed it naturally. And I just think everybody is like that, but they're not. Not everybody is like that. I just took it for granted that every single person in the world was just like me, and they kind of empathise with people, and they respected them, and they kind of listened to them, and they could pick up on kind of energies and how other people are feeling. But there's a lot of people out there that just don't seem to have that ability. And if you develop that, develop the empathy, develop the respect for other people as well, you get a bigger respect for yourself in the first place, but again, you get a much deeper connection with people in the world, wherever you go. And you get the respect in return as well. Not all the time, but that's fine. You understand the people, everybody's not going to get on. It's not about kind of unicorns and roses, it's not all about that. But you understand where you stand with each other as well when you develop that empathy and respect for each other as well. And number 7, is highly authentic leaders are always looking for a way to give back. So they're always looking for a way to give back. So they understand that it's not just about the money. It's not just about kind of having power. It's about what they can do with that money and power. Bill Gates is a perfect example. Bill and Melissa Gates, what they're doing with the charity foundation as well. Perfect example of giving something in return for what they've got as well. That is the habit of a highly authentic leader. And that's what I strive to do. That's why I strive to do my business. That's what I know a lot of people on here strive to do as well, is give something back. And when you give something back, when you give something without expecting anything in return, that's when really things start happening for you, because your energy changes, the messages kind of from the universe changes as well. I'm not going to go too deeply into that. But that's truly what happens. Everything kind of changes when you give without expectation. And again, that's another beautiful thing to see, to witness, and to be part of as well. So that's the 7 habits of highly authentic people. So, just going to get your thoughts on that just now. Sorry I can't read the comments as I was going through that list just now. And I'll put a link up to the post as well from Harvey Deutschendorf, because it's a really, really good post. So who've got? Zane Baker is in. Hi to you, Zane. Welcome to the show, buddy. Who else have we got in? We've got Sean Barrett in from Shots of Positivity, Kim Hamilton, Jackie Bunton Marsh, Mandy L. Frederick, Gina Sendef, obviously, Lorraine Emmett, welcome to you as well. I just see your name kind of up there. I've not seen the comments yet. And obviously we've got Maria Flynn in as well. So if you agree with what I'm saying, give me a few smiley faces. Instead of hearts, give me a few smiley faces. I love the hearts going across the screen, but give me a few smiley faces. So if you agree kind of with what I've been talking about on the topics today. So I'm seeing a few smiley faces, a wee kind of brooding face there. Gina Sendev, thank you very much. Sean Barrett, excellent. So I love the wee smiley faces and the hearts as well. It's brilliant to see. Okay, so do we have any comments on that particular topic about being authentic, or do we have any questions? I'm just looking at the time there. What time are we on? 10 minutes, that's fine. So do you have any questions about being authentic, or just being yourself, or anything about this? Gina Sendef, great leaders love people. Yes, that's very true. Great leaders genuinely love people. I'd put that word in there as well. Gina, genuinely love people. And I think that's, I'd put that in as another trait. They genuinely love people. So I definitely agree with you there. I'll just scroll down. Stephen Webb is in as well. We often see the world the way we are. I love that, Stephen. We often see the world the way we are. Isn't that beautiful? We often see the world the way we are. I don't think that needs to anything else to be said there. That's brilliant, Stephen. I love that. Thank you very much for that. Zane Baker, morning, matey. Morning to you, buddy. I'll just see if we've got any other comments in. Mandy L. Frederick, I have to get up early every day to get Ali off to school. Excellent. And that's something they'll see as well. You being a leader, you have to do that as your kind of role as well. So they're going to see that, and they're going to remember that as well, because children learn through your actions, not through your words. And that's a big thing as well. They learn through your actions, not through your words. And I think a big example of that was kind of my dad. My dad was always a hard worker. And I just presumed that that's how everybody had to be. I didn't realise it was a good trait, and to be a hard worker. And when I've grown up thinking, okay, it's not so much about hard working, it's about smart working as well. But I learned that from my dad, that even if he was sick, if he had something really seriously wrong with him, he'd still go into work. I can't remember him taking a day off work at all, and that's what we were like going to school as well. If we were sick, we still went to school. If we were sick, we still went to work. We've taught our boys that, and that's gone through generation to generation as well. The comments are sticking again. I'm just going to get them up here. Zane Baker, be an example of excellence and you'll be a leader without even asking. Yes, very true as well, Zane. Be an example of excellence and you'll be a leader without even asking. I would agree with that. Maria Flint, I love this article, brings out the leader in all of us, ourselves and the world. It is a great article, I must admit, Maria, and I just read it this morning because it's just been recently put up. I thought that's brilliant. I'm going to have to do a live on that. So that's why I got that article. That's why I was talking about that today. Gina Sendef, giving without expectation is a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing, and it's something I truly love that in my life. Just giving something without, it's like Christmas. When you give to your kids, all you want to do, you just want to see the smiley faces, and just opening up the present, and their eyes going wide, and they can't contain themselves. And you don't expect a thanks, you don't expect anything else. You always kind of get it, obviously, but you don't expect it. You just want to see their faces, and I think it's something like that. If we can kind of relay that to life as well, it is a beautiful thing. I love it. Right, any other kind of comments? Sorry, I'm just waffling on here. Sanal Das, thank you, Stephen, for sharing these points with us. It was really good. Thank you very much for watching, Sanal. Really appreciate it. So Hut is beautiful to listen about, develop emotions and intelligences, treat people with empathy. Totally agree, thanks. Thank you very much, Zol, for watching. Who else have we got? Lorraine Emmett, hi Zane, hugs. Big heart. Jackie Bunton Marsh, good morning, Gina. There's a few, I think I've got old comments here, but I'm just going to go through them anyway. Excuse me. Sunita Esser, very few empathetic, most of them are sympathetic. Yeah, there's a big difference between empathy and sympathy. I definitely agree with you there. Gina Sendef, work ethic is taught by parental example. Yes, definitely. And it's something I kind of learned and passed on to my kids as well, and they're going to pass it on to their kids, and they're going to pass it on to their kids. So I think it's a generational thing as well. Any more questions? Yolanda Voslo, I think trying to be something you're not is just exhausting. Totally agree. People eventually see your true colours and then lose respect, and they won't trust you anymore. Yep, definitely agree with that, Yolanda. I definitely agree with that. Okay, I'll just do another wee quick round before I finish up, because the comments are sticking, so I need to go down and back up again. Rhoda Arnold, I really can't wait to watch this again. I've been so interrupted, and I really enjoy your lives. Thank you. I really am building confidence in myself, and I'm appreciating myself more for the person I've grown to become. Beautiful. Love that, Rhoda, and thank you very much for watching as well. Really appreciate it. I think that's it. Oh, look, we've got Letitia Reiki Hano in as well. Welcome to you, Letitia. I didn't see you there before. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Oh, one more comment. Lorraine Emmett, my little girl calls me our pack leader. Not quite sure if that's a good or a bad thing. I think that's a good thing, Lorraine. So she gets called a pack leader. So with that, I think that's a great comment to leave on. With that, I'm going to wish you a brilliant day and namaste. Take care. Bye now.